Hello and good morning. Coming to you live from my husband's man cave. I hope you ladies are doing so well today. So, listen, today is day 7, and this challenge was originally meant to only last for 7 days. So, this was going to be the reflection and conclusion of this event. Although, as I informed you and kind of surprised you with earlier this week, or I guess last week, was that I really want you to be able to make the most of this time and get as many tools and resources as possible in your arsenal to help you make this transformation in this journey. So I am adding more modules over the course of the next week or so. I know some of you still have some things to finish up or to catch up, so you have plenty of time. These may not be released daily. I do have a pretty busy week, and I also need to complete the workbook. So that workbook has not yet been started. I do have my bonus lessons ready to rock and roll for you. So, for those of you that are in it to win it, stick around. You will still have access in the Healthy app, so don't worry about that. It's not going anywhere. For those of you that are ready to just dive in further to the work that you've done already and conclude the challenge for the week, that's perfectly fine too. So, regardless of where you're at, you can take today to reflect. And just know that more is coming if you want to take advantage of that. So, you have shown up for yourself for the past week. So, take a moment to celebrate that because starting is something that most people never do. Most people aren't trying to learn new things. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. That is how a lot of us feel most of the time. But this shows that you're open to exploring and that this old dog can learn new tricks. And that is how we succeed, how we grow. If we stay the same forever, then there is no growth, there's no transformation. There is just this hamster wheel of life. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about anchoring in transformation and continuing to integrate what you have started to trickle into your life on a regular basis. Excuse me. So, integration is really where transformation begins to feel real. And you may have had some aha moments, some breakthroughs, and some things that have really stood out to you this week. But if we don't continue to integrate it into our lives, then it falls flat, it falls short. We do need to take that inspired action to integrate these tools and techniques and new ways of thinking into our life. And this is how our brain and our nervous system really gets on the same page and turns short-term awareness into long-term change because that's what we're looking for, right? We all want those long-term sustainable results. And it's really going to help your identity, reinforcing the message that this is who you are. All right. So we're celebrating this as well. Okay. So celebrating is reminding you that you've done something well, congratulating yourself, and reinforcing to your nervous system that, and your subconscious, that you want more, you're ready for more, you're open for more. And this allows you to continue on this path so you can live your most vibrant life with optimal health. Okay. So just take a moment to recap on how far you've come already this week. Whether you're continuing on this journey or not, you've uncovered and challenged the stories that you've been carrying with you, potentially keeping you stuck in very real ways and very great ways for a very long time. You've rewritten these beliefs to serve yourself, your body, your healing, and your growth. All right. So we've not only uncovered, but we've challenged and rewritten these beliefs. We've practiced gratitude and learned how it actually shifts our biology. So, where our thoughts go, biology follows, and gratitude is one of those emotions and energies, vibrations of abundance that literally lowers inflammation and shifts our biology. You've embodied new patterns and you showed your nervous system what safety and healing really feel like. And you've learned to trust your body, your mind, and the process. So, all of those things are absolutely huge. And maybe you've traveled down this path before, or maybe these things are all brand new to you. But regardless, you signed up for this challenge for a reason. So celebrate all of the things that you've accomplished so far. So in the journal today, it's all about reflecting, and maybe this is the end, maybe it's the halfway point, but really just diving into what changed for you this week. What emotions did you release? Because sometimes we will do a lesson, check the box, do the journal activity, and we move on. We never look at it again. Something that I am working on um, myself is when I sit down to do my journaling and gratitude and affirmations in the morning, it's looking back at what I wrote yesterday. And just to remember where we're coming from and how things are progressing. Sometimes we just do it and check the box and move on, but it is important to recognize and remember what's actually changing, and that continues to reinforce everything that we're doing. So, taking stock of what new truths and habits you're carrying forward, maybe noting things that surprised you this week. Maybe you had an aha moment. Maybe it was big, maybe it was small, but what surprised you about this week? Did you learn something interesting either about yourself, or even about the biology and the physiology of healing and how our mental state has a heavy, heavy impact on that, right? And just really noting and playing around with what do you want to continue moving forward? And if there are things that you found that you didn't love or maybe didn't serve you, that's okay too. Maybe there was an activity or something that you or part of the lesson that you didn't love. And it's okay to take what is going to be most beneficial for you and run forward with that, right? You don't have to move forward with everything. We have to move forward with the things that are most impactful to us. So take a moment to celebrate the fact that you showed up, you reflected, you did the work that most people never make the time for, and just be proud of yourself for choosing healing. And, again, this focus was not just on healing, but on any health goal. It was rewire your mind, reclaim your health. So even if your goal is not related to a chronic condition, um, be proud of yourself for choosing to facilitate forward motion. All right. So I'll post a prompt in the Healthy app just as a reflection for how far we've come this week already. Feel free to share that, or in the Vitality Facebook group, you can always do that as well. But let me know, what's your biggest takeaway from the challenge so far? And just remember that your mind and body are working together in harmony. It is working for you, not against you. And every single day, whether we see it or not, healing is happening. All right. So lean in with gratitude, lean in with trust. Stay tuned. I would love for all of you to stay tuned for what's coming over the course of the next week or so. And I am here as usual in the app to shoot any questions over to. Um, And that's pretty much it. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Since we are adding more lessons, I am going to reschedule what would have been tonight's finale and celebration call. So I will move that forward. A couple people had indicated that next week would be perfectly fine for the celebration call. So I'm going to kind of map out the upcoming lessons and move that call accordingly. So you've got time to catch up. I hope you're enjoying it so far, and I hope that you have a wonderful afternoon. Adios.